If you took a peek into the hellfire of 2010's Tumblr, it wouldn't take long for you to encounter an alluring light-haired sad girl who effectively had all the artsy internet kids in an aesthetic chokehold for years, myself included. Of course, I'm talking about Electra Heart. Nope. There we go. I'm Electra Heart. Maybe I was too young to be listening to the lyrics of Teen Idol, but it was also too young for those kids at Pembroke Elementary. Yeah, that was a real thing that happened. Electra was the blueprint, and honestly, she continues to be the blueprint near a decade after her demise. Electra Heart was a persona imagined by the fantastic mind of Marina Diamandis for her sophomore album of the same name. It's a satirical bubblegum pop album with a story, and this said story is told through a series of music videos that acted as windows into the tale of Electra Heart. A tragic tale full of mystery, dark themes, and a lot of wigs. Bad wigs. And today we'll be exploring that story, babes. The videos from the album were each released in a numbered order, accompanied by shorts that I can only describe as creepy, but slay. These videos are meant to tell the story of Electra Heart, with each new part adding a piece to the puzzle. Now, there isn't really any concrete canon to this story, but I'll just be sharing my interpretations and some of the more popular theories in the fandom. The premiere chapter in the Electra Heart sequence is the music video for Fear and Loathing, which ironically is the final song in the tracklist of the album. That's curious. No. I vividly remember being in grade 8, blasting this song in front of the mirror, bawling my eyes out because my mom wouldn't let me dye my hair blue. I was one of those kids. That's a true story, by the way. Fear and Loathing is a dark song about regret. It's about self-resolution and self-understanding. It alludes to wanting to find a positive attitude towards life and not wither away under fear and loathing. And this is depicted through the music video as much as the lyrics. This music video features Electra frantically giving herself a makeover in what seems to me like a hotel bathroom. Marina lip-syncs to the song as Electra as she spirals in frenzied despair, and the song crescendos and fades away with Marina's haunting hums. It shows how Electra became consumed with guilt, but it's also about reinvention. Really, it's just the birth of the story before she sets off to find her place in the world. The second video in the Electra Heart sequence is the music video for Radioactive. In the video, we see Electra, now for some reason sporting a very conspicuous blonde wig. Maybe she didn't like her haircut. We are also introduced to a mystery man in the role of Electra's lover. We see Electra and her partner living it up by doing a lot of fun couple things. The generic stuff, like going to a diner or going to the desert and buying groceries and masks of a fox. Side note, this grocery clerk is obviously the queen of her value mart, and she's definitely the ringleader of all the coworker girlies and the one token gay shift lead. We love her for that. The song Stand Alone is about being unsure with life and love, all while finding a thrilling recourse by the presence of somebody. She's basically in a rebellion phase. She's unsure of what she wants and unsure of who she is. Is she Electra, or is she more? Da, da, da. Part 3 is not a music video. Rather, it serves as an introduction to Electra's 4 personalities, collectively known as the archetypes. Yeah, I know, it's kind of meta. The alternate persona has like personas of her own. Layers, like Shrek. Like Shrek. This is Shrek. Electra's Shrek. Anyways, the 4 personalities are Housewife, Beauty Queen, Homewrecker, Idol Team. Each part has an associated archetype as well, with the attributions being confirmed by Electra Heart's Tumblr that she posted throughout the album's promotion cycle. The video is of an old film reel showing Electra standing in front of a blank wall. At first, the track just seems to be the instrumentals of another song from the album, State of Dreaming. But the true message of the film is relayed through its uncanny lyrics. I'm gonna play a tiny clip of the audio right now, but warning, it is creepy. It kind of reminds me of that I Feel Fantastic robot. The creepy one. Yeah. Anyways, this whole part is about identity, obviously. Electra is spiraling, and she needs help. Electra has been living as the teen idol, and now she's going through a metamorphosis. I really don't know why it's such a big dildo, but who's complaining? Electra is now feeling all her diva energy. She's a damsel who gets what she wants, even though she doesn't know what she wants. The Electric song displays her electric nature, or her Electra Heart. No, yeah, I know. Okay, yeah, can we cut that out? She's now finally seen in her most iconic look with the heart on her cheek, partying it up by herself in a luxury mansion. Again, not so much happens in the video except Marina just looking pretty, but that's the point. It's Electra. And look pretty she does. I mean, like, come on, look at her. Look at her. This is why I follow the teachings of Sappho. So the term Primadonna is used to describe somebody who has chronic main character syndrome. Someone exactly like Electra, basically. In a 2013 interview from Elle magazine, Marina explains how the song is about not needing anybody when it comes to love, going on to say that it was inspired by her experience with an ex-boyfriend. Anyways, this is not as dark as the other parts in the story. It's a little breather in Electra's tale before things get rough again. Suurbia. It's the second short in the series. The title is obviously a portmanteau of Barbie and Suurbia, and the video is simply just Electra standing creepily on her porch. We see her dressed in the lovely uniform of the housewife archetype. The housewife archetype seems to take inspiration from films such as Valley of the Dolls and Stepford Wives. Central theme of this is to represent the anxieties and depressions that was faced by many housewives in the 40s and 50s in the US. The lyrics Marina wrote refer to this as well, particularly the first verse, which references Sylvia Plath and her lifelong battle with depression. The housewife archetype has consumed Electra, and she does not like it. Power and Control is the sixth segment. Once again, we see the mystery man as Electra's lover. The song is about the relationship dynamic, how Electra fights against the restraint she feels in her relationship. She's aware of the power imbalance between man and woman that is all too common in relationships, and Electra will not be the lesser. Not anymore. Marina herself said the song is about the tactics of power in a relationship and the brutality of a love game. Not the Lady Gaga version though. Well, maybe. That would be kind of cool. Collab. As a kid, Power and Control was always one of my favorites. Simply put, it's about self-confidence and knowing what you deserve. And I know what that feels like. At least I think I do. Sex. Marina's most successful song. Certified silver in the UK and platinum in Denmark and the US. Even Glee covered it. And along with all that, it also has her most infamous music video. We see Electra in the boys' locker room with all eyes on her. Electra really seems to be enjoying her time with the cast of Big Time Rush. I suppose it's okay to assume Electra has left the toxic relationship from the previous chapter. All things considered though, Electra has definitely embraced being a heartbreaker. Actually, music channels in the US refused to air it because it was described as homoerotic. She responded to this poop in the most Electra way possible, really. She called it ridiculous, pointing out the sexist double standard in the industry. Either way, Electra's having fun in her yassification era being controlled by the homewrecker archetype. Everything about How to Be a Heartbreaker was a cultural reset, from the lyrics to the risque scenes throughout the video. The rules Electra laid out are like Bible to her. But she's gonna be eating her words soon. Evil is a standalone single released as the 8th part. It is a literal banger, and I will always be pissed that it's not on streaming platforms. Get it on there. Can we get by the stars, please? By the stars. Please, I will buy the stars. Again, there's not much to explain about the video. It's just Electra standing there being pretty. What she does. Evil, which is love written backwards, is thematically similar to part 6, Power and Control, in the sense that they're both about relationship dynamics. More specifically about how passionate love can be fragile and may turn sinister so easily. Yeah, a definite flip from How to Be a Heartbreaker, but maybe Electra's just getting what she's unconsciously wanted all along. Millions of girls float on that one quote. That's the beautiful opening lyric to the 9th part of the series, State of Dreaming. Marina said that a key inspiration for the song was Marilyn Monroe, who arguably had the most infamous tale of tragedy in the entertainment industry. This translates well with the old Hollywood-inspired aesthetics of the music video. The themes of the song matched with the wedding motif makes me think Electra is referring to an expectation she had of her getting married, showing a glimpse into her perspective of the world. And this ties in as well with the old Hollywood-inspired aesthetics of the music video. Following the topics of the song, the video seems to take place in what I consider to be a dream sequence. The video begins in black and white, slowly fading into beautiful technicolor around the 1-minute mark. Electra is now dressed in a gorgeous blood red wedding gown. The themes of the song, matched with the wedding motif, leads me to think Electra is referring to an expectation she had, showing a glimpse into her perspective of the world. A world that she may know is just mere fantasy, and she's about to wake up and face the truth. The illusion has dissipated, and the truth is found in the lies. Which is also the penultimate chapter in the story. Don't wanna know. This song is about betrayal and breaching trust, and with all the delicious emotions that come with it. Reality slapped her in the face, and she can't avoid it any longer. She still has that heart on her cheek, though. She's not gonna forget rule number 3. Electra is alone in what looks like another hotel room, and then the remnants of the night before are shown drenched in rain to amplify Electra's sorrow. Also, like, the curtains were gray to signify how, like, dull her life is, and, like, the sky was also blue. Maybe this is the day after her wedding from the previous video, and she's finally realizing that it's not the happily ever after she told herself it would be. And then the video ends with Electra escaping into a forest, symbolizing her putting an end to her misery. Lights, they blind me. The final chapter in Electra's journey is actually the title track. That's curious. Once again, this is another standalone single not found on streaming platforms, just like Evil. The video manically flashes previous parts, going from scene to scene as a recap of this story. We see Electra in all her different hairstyles, but with the same dread-filled expression of just having too much. Now, it's common knowledge that Electra took her own life. Marina even explained the method. She took the Yas pills. Now, lyrically, the song isn't complex. For real, it's just this. Lights, they blind her. Trapped in guilt, reflecting on her life experience, there's obviously regret and sadness, and this recurring theme of identity is finally secured as Electra closes the whole story by proclaiming her own name. Honestly, I feel like it's kind of anticlimactic for the finale, but it is kind of gaggy that this is how she dropped the title track. And just like that, the gothic tragedy of Electra Fart is gaseously released from the bowels of existence. And just like any good aroma, there are definitely some complex undertones. There's no symbolism here, I just wanted to make a fart joke. Anyways, analysis time. Can we go back to the start? Or is it the start? So throughout my explanation, I gave each of the parts its own specific topic, outlined pretty in pink. These essentially serve as the guidelines for the story. Electra is consumed by the guilt of her choices and needs to make a change. She remedies this by finding thrill in life, but that just causes her to question her identity even more. She decides to finally make herself the main character of her life. This worked well, until it didn't. Back in a state of deep depression caused by the dissatisfaction she has with her life, she decides to take back the power and control of this love game she's in. She reclaims her time and becomes a bad bitch by embracing these dynamics. Heartbroken to heartbreaker, let's go. Life, however, would call for a strange twist of fate when she ends up finding love, or the evil version of it. This said evil manifests as Electra gets lost in her own fantasy, but she's soon to wake up and recognize the truths of reality, and she does not take well to it. It's the final nail in her hypothetical self-made coffin, taken over with regret. Regret that she fell for a familiar trap again. And so she decides to take her own life and find her own release. But wait, there's more. Taking the archetypes into consideration adds another layer to the narrative. The story does really make sense with the archetypes and their associated song. We see Electra cycle through them, beginning from her idle teen era to a delusional beauty queen, and so on. Now, I don't think the archetypes are meant to represent actual alter egos. I think they're more to represent different chapters in Electra's life and the identity she is consumed by. You know, sort of like how Moon Moon will always be Moon Moon, even if they're in a different phase of the Moon Moon. Now, with so many different elements, all mostly left up to interpretation, the story becomes admittedly vague. This naturally leads to loads of theories thought up by the Diamonds Online, and the most popular of these theories actually does have some damning evidence. You see, fans claim that the Electra Heart tale is actually told in reverse. Da, da, da. Like I said earlier, Fear and Loathing is the first video in the series, but last in the track list. Conversely, the title track is used for the final video. The themes of both the first and final are pretty interchangeable, and the plot doesn't need to make any large leaps to fit the theory, really. And the fact that both songs allude to beginnings and endings, it becomes a pretty worthwhile theory. I mean, it's not too much of a stretch. It can still follow the same story structure where Electra hops from archetype to archetype, not liking her own life, complaining, blah-de-da, and then fucking herself over by wearing a bad wig again. Fucking her side wig. Oh my god, it's the wigs! Oh my... The wigs get darker, the more she's consumed by the darkness. That fruit looks familiar. Whatever you do, do not call her poor. Wait, what if it follows the order of the track list? We don't have the whole picture. I'm just kidding, it's really not that deep. In a 2011 interview by Digital Spy, Marina herself made it clear that she doesn't consider Electra Heart an alter ego, going as far to say that Electra reflects the antithesis of her. And that's just another reminder that the album is a satire. Now, despite all my in-depth analysis, it is a story about a narcissistic drama queen who lives separate from reality. Of course, that doesn't mean the songs aren't beautiful and real, but in the context of Electra the character, it does kind of glamorize darkness under a veil of irony. There are serious topics in this story, and you can't really put that in a pink bow without being self-aware about it. It's bubblegum pop. It's camp. You know, like wearing a glove to hide your dry eczema, but really all it does is attract more attention. Marina's viral success on TikTok helped restore the internet's interest in Electra Heart, and this is also heightened with this resurgence we're seeing of 2010's Tumblr. Electra Heart, the character, impacted a whole generation of terminally online teenagers and just aesthetic culture as a whole, really. And you could argue that this current renaissance is doing it all again.